Hey fam, I appreciate you guys so much. I see the love in the comments, especially on such a very intimidating and very hurtful subject. Um, I know that a lot of you feel like, oh, it's no big deal. It's we use it every day in music, and you know, it's a very personal thing. Um, I don't have there's lots of racial slurs for where I come from. There's um, spick and beaner and all these kinds of things, but nothing compares to the sting of the N word. Nothing compares to that. Even if you put a GA. And I just want to make that clear. You got to be careful. That's all. I'm not your mom. You know, I'm not a police officer, or I just want to come to you as just a human being to another human being. That this word is so hurtful. So before I fall to pieces, let me just read you what Harvey was telling me, and which I absolutely loved. And Harvey, if you see Harvey Dent in the comments, give him some love because he shares a lot of the culture. The black folks as a collective. He's the one who will find the links for me to go and look things up or put things out there that help to nourish us to understand um, so much of this this beautiful life that we're starting to get to understand. And so shout out to Harvey Dent. Um, he's just really patient because he should be the one talking about these things. It shouldn't be me. It happens to be that I'm doing this because it's around people that I care about. This happened to Tech. He was all alone. I felt he was very brave. I still feel he's very brave, but at the same time, I'm still scared for him. And he's probably like, "Don't be worried about me," but I am worried because I don't want people to get comfortable and sleep on that word. You can't not. So here's what Harvey said, and I thought it was very well put, and a lot of you put that you would never say it, and I understand that because I'm the same way. But some of you youngins were like, hey, if it wouldn't be such a big deal if black folks as a collective were making it relevant, if it wasn't being put in music. People feel that if they buy the music, they should be able to say all the words to the music. Okay, once again, it depends. Depends. It just depends. You're gonna do what you're gonna do. I can't say nothing about it. All I can say is proceed with caution. That's all I can do. Like a hall monitor that sees like, oh, you could slip over there because somebody had just put a bunch of water over there, and all I can do is just, that's it. That's all I can do. It says, you brought up the black culture, and people say it every day. It will just be a normal word to them, not offensive. I personally think it's a horrible word that shouldn't be thrown around like it is from any race, but it is what it is, and they say it a lot in their songs and in their words for everyday use. And in California, it is like my husband and I, we get called it all the time, but ninjas. And it's funny to us. We feel closer to our friends because they feel comfortable enough to call us that. But those are special people. We don't turn around and talk to them like that. We may say, how are you doing, or how you be, or I'm gonna, or I'm finna do this, or, and I usually throw the quotations so they know that I know that these are not words I usually use, maybe back in the day, but they know that I have this respect for them, that it's these are words that were kind of taken and just used universally, but I know where they came from, and the N word is no different. I know where that came from, and I don't want to say it. And you could turn it into whatever you guys want, but it's just not for me. So I get to Harvey's comment, and I thought it was just really well put together. He said, "Long story short, it's cultural and regional. Tupac said to say it with an A, Nigga. He goes, it's different than the ER, but really that's not true. The reason we say A and not the ER is because black folks grew up speaking broken English. In black culture, one word can mean a plethora of things. It's like the Bernie Mac joke about the word mother effer. It can be used as a noun. It's all about respect. Look at it this way. There is always some things that you will say to your family when you're upset that if someone else said, you would be pissed. People who still live in southern states will have a different connection to it than people in the states that were free states. He lives in St. Louis. And my city has so much hidden racism that black folks are always on guard. But the other thing is, with some black folks, even if another black person doesn't know them, they won't accept that N-word from them. So it's not like how you see in California. A lot of times you'll see strangers, black folks, greet each other with the N-word. He's saying, hey, don't come to St. Louis and do that. There's some parts where that ain't gonna fly. They'll just look at you like, I don't know you. I get that. So I thought that was some good clarification. And for people to say that we shouldn't get upset over words, we shouldn't be offended when people call you any word. But if a person was to say the C word, rhymes with bunt, and the G word, the R word, or whatever, and then he said, but let me see what's going on Twitter. So he went over to Twitter to see what was going on. So that made me happy, because that way he could see the tweets for himself. And he basically just laid it down like this. Because I was like, what if your friends give you a pass? Or what if you buy this music and you just can't say it, What do you think about that? He goes, look, because Tech defended this Caucasian woman over something so personal to so many others, this is why he got so much hatred and disrespect back. And then, of course, Tech is going to be defensive and not think that he's doing anything wrong. And a lot of people, were on Tech's side. And I just wanted to offer my support, obviously, because he's my friend. He said, but all words have power. And the question I always ask to people who are not black folks is to start saying those derogatory terms of their race around their parents and see what the outcome would be. True, you're not going to hear me saying these things around my mom. We all have terms that are bad, but nobody uses them daily. His culture, Harvey's culture, like Sonny's culture, like Tech, his culture, they use it daily because it was used literally daily for centuries. He says I always say the best way to get people to understand is to try and get them to walk in the shoes of the other person who is upset. And just because their friends give them a pass doesn't mean the world will. That is true. A person has to understand that everyone will never accept everything that their friends accept. So you can do it around your friends, but once you get in public, you're taking a risk. A friend may let you push the joking narrative, but a stranger won't. A friend has gained their trust, but in Harvey's case, his friends feel it's a matter of respect. They respect him, so they're not going to be saying that word. He said for the younger generation that feel it's not a big deal, or for anybody who feels it's not a big deal, not just the younger generation, there's probably some older ones out there too. The understanding will come with age or experience. Right now, everyone's defensive because it doesn't affect them. I try to use history to put things in context. For those who say it's an old term and because the world loves Martin Luther King. Let's use him as an example. In 1965, they had to pass a law that made people not intimidate black voters. Listen to that. That is insane. That is not very long ago. To a lot of you guys born in 2000, it may seem like it, but really it's not. In 1968, Martin Luther King was killed, and white people were calling us the N-word. I'm always here to help if I can. So you guys hear that? You guys, if you guys have a question or you want to speak to Harvey, he's here for us. So I just want you guys to understand that. You guys can follow me on Twitter. You guys see my description, and then I'm going to put at Harvey_Dent for you guys, so you guys can follow him as well. Okay? And you guys can follow me and then get to him. It's however you want to do it. But just so we can live better lives. And this is exactly what he said. He says, I want the world to get a better understanding of each other so we can live better with each other. So that makes me so happy. It took me a while to get this out, guys. It's been a good hour of just rehearsing this, how to say it, and not make it too long to where you guys are like, oh my gosh. So, but to get these points out on both sides. So you guys don't have to leave comments. You guys can if you want to, if there's any other questions you have, and maybe Harvey will come through and look at them, or maybe he won't, or maybe you can ask him. We'll see. But I love you guys. I just wanted to throw this out there and just tell you all that I'm very proud of you, because none of you guys attacked each other at all. And I appreciate that, because we all just need to respect each other. Every little bit counts. Okay, love you guys. Bye.